one of my friends, her name is Yami. She posted on TikTok this random video. This is where TikTok really blew up. She posted a video on TikTok. This video gets 2 million views
my goodness.
with my hoodie on. All these people are like, yo, where'd you get this hoodie? I don't got none of them. They're all gone.
So if you're building a brand in the early stages, then you already know that this part doesn't look glamorous. It's nothing like IG. It's nothing like social media, right? It's late nights. It's small budgets. It's wearing 10 different hats, trying to turn a creative idea into something that's actually real. Today's guest understands that very, very well. Terrance Diggs is the founder and creative director of D17. It's a sports lifestyle brand built around athletics, culture. Community is a big part of it, so we're going to dig into that pretty soon. From designing campaigns for global brands like ASICS and Chelsea FC to building his own running community and apparel brand, Terrance is navigating what it really looks like to go from creativity, pure creativity, to business. And so today we're going to talk about community-first brands, creative entrepreneurship, and the real work behind building culture around a specific product. This is an operator-to-operator conversation. Hi, I'm Shope, co-founder of Alter Aesthetics Company and the founder of Building Block Digital. Welcome to The Margin Room. My man, Terrance, D17, welcome to the show. How are you feeling today?
I'm good. Like I said, before we jumped on, long weekend, my sister and I hung out yesterday for International Women's Day, and it turned into us going to the gym because she said, let's test your squat max. So I'm like, yo,
Just a casual conversation with your sister?
Yeah, she was like, because she was like, oh, I got this new gym. She was like, it's right next to where we went to go to dinner. She's like, oh, you got some shoes on. Let's go max out your squat before we go to dinners. That was pretty fun. So like my quads and glutes are a little hurting today, but it's all good. Like I said, she keeps me in the gym. So.
Dope. So is that a thing? Because you're obviously a very active guy. You run a lot. You played soccer, and you say your sister's in the gym. Is this just a habit in your family? Is this kind of like how you grew up, or is that just unique to you two?
Yeah, I think I came up just really always around sports and athletics. It really was, I would say, like a really big driver. Like my parents definitely tried to put us in everything starting out. Like I remember I was doing tennis lessons, like every summer is like something different. Ended up playing golf in high school. I ran track. I played lacrosse for 2 years. Into my adulthood, like I was soccer, kickball, pickleball, everything kind of under the sun. My sister, she was mostly a basketball player.
Gotcha.
You know, went all the way. She played at the Division III level, might potentially be her school's like Hall of Fame one day. I think she qualifies next year, maybe. She qualifies to get in for consideration. So in between that, like cousins I've had, we've always, like our family reunions always was like a brawl of who's got it. You know, like I had cousins that they play ball at like Louisville and stuff like that. Wow. So it's like, all right, we gonna play. Like I might not rebound your ass, but excuse my language, but my sister's gonna like drop some threes on you. So as long as I can rebound and kick it to her, I'm good. So it's really just been in my DNA. Like my friends and stuff are all my teammates from any level of sport. Like I said, this weekend, one of my we've been playing ball since we were kids, like, you know, starting families now and stuff. So it's kind of how it's always been and kind of how I grew up from high school. You know, they always said, this is going to be the people you're going to be with forever. I thought they was just saying some stuff like this is an episode of like a teenage movie, but I've been with them people almost 20 years now. So
it's crazy to speak to start speaking in decades at the stage of life. And you're like, yo, I really don't feel that old, but I can literally speak in decades, and I'm sure you feel the same way.
Yeah, like I tell people, like some of my friends, like I've known them since in like babies, still diapers, like they just put us both in the little play bin. I've known them boys since then. I've been through every girlfriend. I've been through every failed class. I've been through every, you know, some things. I've been through it all. So like I said, those relationships have really always stuck with me. And being able to develop that not only personally, but also like on the business side too, where that's collaborations or partnerships or just developing that network. You just never know how
Yeah.
that kind of divulges and becomes genuine and builds into bigger stuff. So
Absolutely.
it's always been with me.
No, absolutely. It's interesting because I was having this conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, and we were asking ourselves, what is the value of, say, like a Harvard MBA, for example? And it's not inherently more valuable in the sense of what you learn, but it's valuable because of who you're around,
Mhm.
right? Like the friendships you
Yeah.
form. And then those become the seed of everything you end up doing in your life. And so it's more of a network effect type thing. And so it's actually incredible to still have close relationships with people who you now have so much like history with, right? Because at this point, it's not even like yeah, there might be opportunities, but it's not just opportunities. More so like you guys are just talking and sharing and experiencing life together. So you're passing things to one another. So that's super dope.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
one of the things I like to do on this pod is get, like, real, like, honestly transparent. You get what I'm saying? And kinda, like, talk
Yeah.
mechanics because the purpose this is specifically designed for early stage DTC founders. There's a
Mm.
lot of pods out there with nine-figure folks, and, like, shout out to them, God bless them, but if you've been sitting at 8, 9 figures for a decade or whatever, you might tend to forget what it was like at the
Yeah.
beginning stages. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And so I'm trying to hear from people who are getting it out the mud at this stage or who are just past that stage and say, "Hey, listen, these are some of the things. We're
Mm.
gonna get real, like, tactical here." So, on that note, I know you have D17, but you also do partnerships with New Balance. We were talking a little bit about that before we started recording. You do a
Mm.
few different things. So tell me, how does it is this all through D17? Is D17 its own brand? How is it all structured?
Yeah, so right now, D17, it's its own entity, all the paperwork and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of it does pass through the things I do personally. When I was an ambassador for ASICS in 2024, like that was really getting my feet together. And I wouldn't call it validity, but
Mm,
really showcasing like I can work with a top brand. 'Cause I used to work for the brand, but
yeah,
being on the ambassador side, it's a different kind of level of commitment and showing face and grassroots approach. And then being an ambassador at Arc'teryx, like that's the other side. So I went from road running to
mm,
trail running, and then now being able to understand what that looks like from like the greater DC area, how that's able to develop into working with streetwear boutiques and retailers, what that looks like with doing activations at Tyson's Corner or attending events at the Kennedy Center and stuff like that. But like you had said, when you're in those spaces, like it is a Harvard MBA or wherever you go to school, like it's really the people that are around you.
mm,
So being able to have that, I've been able to get those connections and then those relationships grow into like, hey, well, I also do this running thing. But then when I do the running thing, it also is like, oh, I also do this clothing thing. So
yeah,
we've been able to develop partnerships, community partners with like a New Balance, a Smartwater, a Charm City Run, just being able to say, hey, not only do you have me kind of, I wouldn't call it a driving force, but it kind of puts a face to everything.
yeah,
And then we have the business that we're able to, when it's time to do the paperwork, it's okay, we have, insurances, licenses, the ability to design, manufacture, put together campaigns, content, stuff like that. So
yeah,
I always want to work with like creatives that are, getting their feet together or they're looking to expand their portfolio. I love to invite them out to our events to capture. Obviously, we can collab posts with,
yeah,
the big retailers or getting it sent to the
yeah,
higher ups at these companies. They're able to see that. So not only are we capturing content, we're able to track conversion. We're able to impressions, reach, interaction. So there is that business side to it because when you have those conversations, it's like, yeah, it's cool what you're doing, but at the end of the day, there's numbers that have to be involved.
yeah,
And like you said, revenue is obviously a thing.
mhm,
Budget is a really big thing too. How much
sure,
are you looking to spend on this? Yes, you can have a huge idea, but
yeah,
who's going to write that check to pay for the food? Who's going to write that check to
yeah,
pay for the workers to stay overtime? Who's going to write that check for transportation? We have to bring all this stuff here. We have to get promotional items
uh-huh,
made. Like,
uh-huh,
luckily, we've been able to, through those relationships, like, oh, I met this person. We hike together. They do this. Oh, you actually know a guy that does printing. Oh, I do this. Oh, I do this. Oh, a all female walking group that we can do this together with.
yeah,
I wouldn't say it's all through being outside, but it's really just being able to say, like, yes, there's me, but I can say, oh, I also run this business
got you,
that we can collaborate and work
yeah,
together. So I wouldn't call it like it's like, oh, this is the side thing. Me and the brand kind of work together, but I'm
Yeah.
slowly getting to the point where I want the brand to operate separately
Got you.
without me having to do everything
All
or
of
be in
that.
the front because
Yeah.
I want to take it bigger outside of, Baltimore and DC. I'd love to take it to a Charlotte or a Miami or a New York, and I want that name to resonate more than just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to have me with it, but I'm no pro,
Yeah.
no big time rapper,
Plus
I'm
just
just a
yeah.
regular guy.
Yeah, plus just with time, I mean, like, you definitely want any brand that has any chance of sustainability or growth or scale, it has to be like, you have to remove the bottleneck. The founder CEO
Mm,
cannot be the sole person upon which the entire thing is built. It can be helpful to use it to borrow some attention, but it has to stand on its own. That's actually
yeah.
kinda similar to where my business partner and I with Alter Aesthetics, we're about to launch later this month, and my business partner
Mhm,
is very deeply integrated in the music industry, has a lot of very good friendships. And so we've been building it in public. And so we've been kind of like leveraging our personal brands and some of our relationships to get the attention on the post. But it's been conversation from day one, like how tightly are we going to integrate our personal brands with this? And I think it's something we should realize that to give it a little boost initially, sure, but in the long run, we want
mm,
this thing to just be able to do its own thing. And I think
yeah.
that's just how I think that's a good future thinking. And so at this
Mhm,
point, you being a brand ambassador for these bigger brands gives you a lot of business development opportunities that you then funnel into D17. I understand the structure. And that's actually quite good
mhm,
because you're not the typical brand ambassador who just gets I don't know what the terms of your agreements are, but the check or whatever it is. You actually have
mhm,
something they can use to capture and collect all of that into something that's your own. I think that's brilliant,
yeah.
dude. For real. That's brilliant.
Sometimes, man, let's like I said, let's be transparent with it. Like,
Yes.
there's a lot of people that knew, like, I had my job,
Mm.
some things didn't go right with it. I had to figure out what to do with my time.
Yep.
And, I had the ability to utilize that time that I had to really be philanthropic, to
Yeah.
really value. Like, I was riding around taking pictures of people I'm like, just let me just take the photo. Let me just do this. I was
Hmm.
interning at a couple businesses, just
Yeah.
like in footwear, like, let me just learn from y'all. They're like, well, we probably can't pay you. I'm like, that's cool. I got the time. Like, I got the time to do it. So, but
Yeah.
like over time, I still was able to, like, restructure what my income and so just like personal, like my income to look like, and
Yeah.
then what that looks like in terms of how that affects the business. But like, I remember people saying, well, you ain't dropped in a minute. You ain't dropped in a minute. I'm like, man, I'm like, I got to eat tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
before it was like, cool, I can just swing 300 shirts. I'm like,
It's not
but I
just
still
that
have to,
yeah.
yeah, but like, not saying that the business wasn't making enough, but it was like, we had to dial back on a lot of risks that we were taking, like
Yeah.
whether it was advertising or sampling and stuff like that. But still, me being out there put a lot of effort. Like, people still thought I was dropping stuff. I was like, man, I ain't dropped in like a year. But
Wow.
the way of my presence and the way that we were still putting on events
Yeah,
and
kept
putting
it
on
relevant.
activations, it felt like it was still thriving.
Yeah.
So I loved how that was able to do that. And then now that we're in a better position and have been able to like really take stuff, I took all that time to research, to connect, to find, new partners, to build my relationship with existing partners,
Mm.
understanding where I needed to be, like in terms of this person's doing this, oh, this person's doing this. I could be like, yo, I could be there. Like, what's your schedule, man? Are you free in 30 minutes? Like, I can get there in 30 minutes,
Yeah.
something quick. But being able to have that flexibility really helps. So when I got stuff back in order, it was like, all right, now I know who to talk to, and I can be a lot leaner with it without me having to take 2 weeks to figure out where can I host this, or 2 weeks to find out who this person with, or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, that 2 weeks is now turned into like 4 business days, and we're
Yeah.
able to kind of really speed it up. And all that time that I took and popping up and helping people, like I was helping people set up, I was helping people carry stuff up steps, I was helping people, design stuff and
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
just for the sake of just getting it done. Like, I was like, I don't need to be paid nothing. Just remember me when I need you, like, when I need that one favor, I'm gonna pull it. Like, but
Yeah. That's smart.
sometimes that favor works. Sometimes that I've gotten a couple favors, just like somebody said, yo, you trying to get this done? Actually, you helped me out, man. You
Yeah.
you were like the first 5 people that came to my event. You brought 3 people, man. Let me introduce you to this person. They
Yeah.
do this. And then I started to do that relationship. Then it was like, oh, let's all do something together. Now we all get to benefit from it. And
Yeah.
there's a way that we can be able to monetize. So
Yeah.
it
Authentic.
took
Yeah.
time to do it, but it's
Yeah.
there, you know?
Authentic relationship building, man. It's like all things in life compound if you're just willing to do the work and be patient and be genuine and
Hmm.
authentic in the process. So I feel that. So on
Yeah.
that note, you've kind of been touching on it already. Like, give me the headline. What's going well with D17 right now, and what is kind of like quietly stressing you out?
I will say going well is I've knocked out all of our designs for the year.
Mm.
So that's great. But like, cool. The creative process is done. It's
Yeah.
just right now. I mean, like, I know a lot of people are feeling it from like DTC or B2B, just like getting your stuff made and everything. Like, I took a lot of time to really relook at how that process was going. I did appreciate it the way it was before, but like I said, over time, I kept learning about new partners and new
Yeah.
people to work with. I'm like, now I need to figure out like which way I want to go to make sure it's the right way for the brand in the future. I'd like these next steps that I plan to
Mhm.
present to the world
Are you
to really
speaking?
be long standing.
Are you? Sorry to cut you off. Are you thinking design wise or more so
Like
positioning or just other things?
like production of like our like products.
Got you.
I think
Got you.
some of the partners that we have, like we've had partners now, like our racing singlet, which I actually have it right here.
Let's
Like our
see.
racing singlet was made 100% in the United States. Like it's
Uh,
100% US made. We're trying to look on a better fabric for it. It's still buttery soft. Like it's got, the perforation holes and everything. But
yeah.
we've been working on like, how can we update this better? How can we position ourselves saying like, look, 85% of our product is made domestically
Mhm.
with these local producers. What are the stories that we're telling? What are the athletes that we're working with? Like so I went to Towson University. I recently signed up to help them with their NIL collective. What can that look like for student athletes? What can that look like for students in general?
Mhm.
I'm part of their mentor program as well, and I help like, hey, if
Dope.
you're a student that,
Wow.
you're looking to get some photo under your belt, like, come on out to the photo shoot. You can take the BTS, you can do whatever. Like, I'll
Yeah.
slide you some bread and then you can still talk about that when you're presenting a project to a professor or
Yeah.
in a class. Like, wow, you went and got real world experience. Like I said, I'm on the phone with these athletes. I'm on the phone
Yeah.
with the New Balance. I'm on the phone with the Smartwater. You can sit and listen to this stuff in real time without feeling like, how can I get there? That was my biggest problem when I was in
Mm.
school was, how do I get to that? I'm not rebuilding anything new. It's a different perspective, yes, but I'm not the only one that got to work with New Balance. I'm not the only one,
Yeah.
like Joe Fresh Goods got that. Like I ain't the first one to get a water, partnership. Like,
Yeah.
these are things that are already done, but the way that we're looking to do it is kind of not my favorite part right now because it's a lot of testing, it's a lot of sampling, it's a lot of, do we want to take this risk? Do we want to, do we need to make 200 of these and we
Wow.
really only need 100? And it's like, but it's worth it in the long run to tell that story because we
Yeah.
did so much effort and process and
Yeah.
fabric changing and silhouette cutting and like, do we keep the cores? Do we take them out? Do we keep these metal? Do we take, fuck, I've liked the metal for so long. And I'm like, dang, the last 4 years, the hoodies had the metal brackets and the insets. And I'm like, if we take it away, people are going to be pissed. And
You
now
don't
like,
notice it.
they're going to be like, bring them back. Now that's like a financial decision you have to go
Yeah.
with. And then and I'll keep it quick. One of the hardest things we had to do last year was we were really big in soccer sponsorships.
Mm.
I was sponsoring teams all over the DMV and we had to dial it back because we couldn't service all these teams. We
Right.
were able to do sponsorship, but we weren't in the position to like make a full kit and training gear for the athletes or like for team merchandise. Like we weren't able to do that. I was only able to provide just like a logo on a jersey, but like people kept, yo, y'all gonna make a jersey, y'all gonna make a kit, y'all gonna do this. I'm like, man, that takes a lot of work.
The time, a lot of
And I
money.
think we took like 3 months to try to figure it out. It's like, where are we going to get it made? Can we get these quantities? How can we still help these teams without busting their pockets? We don't want
Yeah.
to bust our pockets because now it's like, who's going to eat this? Is it a good long-term play? Is it worth it? But, like I'm sitting here like in my journal, I'm like, crap, this is it's a lot of bread. Like we could have
Yeah.
did like 4 collections with this, but now we're on this one thing. So that's the one thing I'm still learning in this
Yeah.
process, like as being like a brand owner and understanding that. I would like to get the point to offset that. I don't
Yeah.
want to deal with that. I just want to design and keep it moving. But
Mm.
like I said, you run into so many roadblocks every day,
Yeah.
and it can either knock you down or you just find a way around it. And as cliche as that sounds, like brands of all sizes, they run into problems, and it
Yeah.
can seem like it's small or it can seem like it's huge. To us, it's huge. To another brand, it might be small, but you just never know. Like once it goes to market and goes to campaign, like you just played off like you're a pro, but you really was like ripping your hair out and running in circles and like,
Yeah.
you know, our shipping, our label maker broke for like 2 weeks. So like I had to go on the internet and be like, I'm sorry, like the shit's been moving slow. Like it's not my fault. Like I'm waiting for the payout from, Shopify to go buy a new one.
Yeah.
I'm like, just hold on, just wait like 2 weeks. But that trust and
Yeah.
communication and customer base, like you build it so much over time that,
Yeah.
they'll cut you a little slack, but I can't do it again.
Yeah. No,
I,
yeah.
I can't, I
So,
can't pull that second time.
no, I hear you. Couple of things that I've learned over the years is that number one, nobody has it figured out. Like nobody. Like
Yeah.
nobody has it figured out. Like even the big brands and everybody have ideas, they have theories, they have playbooks, but at the end of the day, everyone's trying to figure out what the next couple of moves are because the landscape is
Mm,
ever dynamic, it's ever changing. So
yeah.
even at the early stages, we have to remember that nobody has it figured out. So people may know more stuff than I do, but nobody has all the answers, number one. And then number two, something you said a few moments ago really stuck. You said, for me, the challenge was, how do I get there? When you were
Mm,
talking about mentoring other students who they can see you having the conversations with Smartwater or whoever. And for you, in your mind, you were like, I'm not creating anything new. I'm just trying to figure out the path because somebody's already done it. And I think that
mm.
that little shift in thinking is so powerful and is often what can hold people back when they feel as though this thing they're trying to do is so insurmountable. But just that little psychological shift of somebody's done this before. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I'm not out here trying to like go to Mars.
That's what I be trying to tell people. I'm like, sure, I'd love a shoe, but I know a whole bunch of people who've gotten their own shoes. Sure, I'd love to have, this type of partnership, but I'm like, I'm not, I wanted to be the first one at some point when it happened, but like obviously some things align and I always tell myself like when I'm ready for it, it will come to me. But like you said, I'm not the first one to do it. Like it's gonna happen. Even if I am the first, cool, I might inspire like 10 other people to do
Mhm,
it. So now
mhm.
it's no longer just one, it's so many others.
Yeah.
And like you had mentioned, like I always wanted to be able to be that kind of, I wouldn't call it a beacon, but there is a roadmap of like, somebody is working at, let's say they do music, like somebody is like a artist development rep, somebody is working on the engineering side, somebody is designing graphics and, winning for multimedia productions and packages. Like that person exists.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody that doesn't have the resources or the accessibility to talk to somebody like that, it's like, how can I get there from where I'm at today
Uh-huh.
without having to like do nothing crazy? But like,
Yeah.
how does that work? And I've been hoping, like a couple of the kids I've worked with, they're like, how did you become a brand ambassador of this? Like, I just knew the right people at the right time and it just worked out. And I try to say, well, if you want to get into it, then I can show you like who to talk to, but you got to be the one to finish the play. Like
Yeah, for
I'll throw
sure.
you the oop, but you got to dunk it. Like
Absolutely.
I'll be like, yo, you trying to do this? All right. Well, actually, I know this person. That's them. You can go talk to them. You got to tell them what you need. You can throw my name in there if you want to, but
Right.
after that, it's on you
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's the one thing that I've learned is once you got to execute. And a lot of these brands, like the big ones, they don't have time. Sometimes they don't have time to test and wait.
Hmm.
It's got to come now and it has to come finished.
Hmm.
Because if you don't, they're going to call somebody else that's got it ready, finished. And you're going to be like, I thought it was going to be me. It's like, well, you got to either you come with the ingredients or you come with the cake. So that's what I tell people. Like, I might not have the cake, but I can bake this motherfucker if you give me the right, give me the right place to do it. I'm a put it together.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're like, hey, let's see what you can do. And we've baked a couple cakes and couple cakes, they wasn't too good at first. I got lucky to cook another one, and I was like, all right. They said, okay, cool. He might not be a master, baker, but he got
He got
something.
something. He got something.
That's
He got
all I
heart.
need.
That's what's
That's
up.
all I need.
That's dope, man. I love your tenacity. So you were talking about, you were doing all this stuff, sponsoring teams, doing run clubs. Like you do a lot. All right. What came first for you, the community first or the clothing?
For me, I think the community was there. And then I had tried to build the clothing around it. Because, and I always talk about this, when I first started making the clothes, I was already designing college. When I got started my career, I was already designing product for like student groups on campus or local rappers and musicians. I was already doing cover arts and making merch for them and stuff like that. So I had that side. And then once I got into the clothing part, like being able to build that audience is what kind of came to it. But it was already there because a lot of people had already associated me with athletics. When I first started D17, I wanted to be like a cool, like Supreme, Off-White, like Heron Preston. I was like, yeah, you got to wear this when you go to the bar and stuff like that. And once again, I know she's probably going to listen at some point. My friend Marley, she wore one of my shirts to the gym. And I was like, why are you doing that? It's not meant for the gym. And she was like, oh, this has been a really great gym shirt. I wear it to the gym all the time. People ask me about it. And I'm like, why did you do that? So like in my mind, that's like very early consumer feedback. So I was like, and then I was constantly trying like, man, I want to be this streetwear savant. I want to be this like, this Pharrell type guy or this Virgil. And I'm like, I don't think that was the avenue for me. People knew me by playing ball or this when I was golfing, whatever. So I was like, why don't I just start building around that? And then that's when we started to really focus on athletics, and it found a way. And I was like, well, I don't think it's too many brands doing basketball. It's too many brands doing baseball. I still love them. I'd love to do something still. But like when I was running, I was like, man, everything about my outfit, things I did, like I was always wearing running gear. My friends are always wearing running gear, whether it's just like a track suit or track pants or the shoes. And it just fit the aesthetic, and it fit the byline of like, well, every other sport, every off season we was conditioning by running. So I was like, maybe I should get more into running. I ran track, stuff like that, and it just built off of it. Like I said, I played soccer. I've always loved how that fashion and sport kind of always connected. So I was like, okay, let's get into soccer, but I wasn't trying to make gear. I wanted to just support teams because if there's a kid that wears my jersey, like everybody knows the Airways on front of a City jersey or O2 and Arsenal had it on the front. Like they might not know who those are, but like they know the brands on the front. So I was like, maybe I could be like the cool, teams that want me on the front for their merchandising and stuff like that. So, that's really how that pivot went. And I just been, not to sound punny, but like I just been running with it since 2019. So like I only did the like cool streetwear haha for like 2 years. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that's not it. We can still incorporate, like I've been around that stuff in sneakers. I was camping for shoes. I was on Nike Talk. I was with my buddies trying to get Bread 11s on Finish Line and, charging my parents' credit card like 19 times, to fail the raffles. Like I've been in those situations, and obviously like DMV culture, but around here too, it's really about sport. And like I didn't have a Louis bag, but damn, if you had that AAU, EYBL backpack, you was that guy. You know what I mean? Like, and when I grew up, that was like the thing, is getting that backpack or, those travel team shoes or wearing your warm-ups to school. And it's like, or if you made the football team or like the lacrosse team, like people wanted to play lacrosse just to get the jacket. Like never played a day. They're like, I just want the jacket. Or like being on the basketball team, and they had those like, they used to have like these iconic warm-ups that they always wore. And it's like, it just had a different kind of like, dang, he playing on Friday night in front of the lights. He don't even play. It would be guys that don't even play. He's just the hype man, but damn it, he got that jacket though.
He got it.
You
Yeah,
wanted the
yeah.
brotherhood. You got the jacket. Like, that was my thing. Like, when I was playing sports, I played lacrosse, man. When I got that jacket, I didn't play till my junior year, right? But I remember all my homies, they come in with the jackets, you know, the shorts. I used to wear the Nike Elite socks with the Sperry's on. Like, that was the shit for a minute.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, they are so cool. Our record was awful, but like, they look so cool. When I got that
We was
jacket,
fly, bro.
yes, bro. Like, our record wasn't that the best, but like, when I got my jacket, man, they let me sit at the table. They like, yo, I'm like, I'm with them, man.
No, bro, but what
I
you
worked all summer for this jacket. So like, I'm
Yo,
trying to bring that feeling back, like,
yeah.
especially with the run club. Like, when we did our first initial like team warm up, like, it wasn't a warm up, but it was a jacket. People are like, yo, I'm with the gang, man. I got the running jacket, man. You know
Bro,
how
that's what you're
hard I
talking
worked for
about, man.
this?
What you're talking
Like,
about, man, is identity and community. It's identity and
mm-hmm.
community. Like, at that point, like, the clothing is just the clothing represents something else. You get what I'm saying? It's the brotherhood that you're. I mean, they look fly. It's got to look fly, period, right? But
Yeah.
that's like table stakes. That's basic. But yo, something you said just was profound. You wanted to go into streetwear, and you got early feedback that said, like, listen, this is I love it for going to the gym, and everybody who knows you already knows you for sports, and so it just kind of made sense. And so two things came to mind, two quotables for people who listen to this. Number one, it's about community and identity. That's what Terrance is talking about. That hype, that feeling, that energy is because you know that you're a part of something much bigger than just a specific thing itself. So it's community and identity. And the second thing is that you cannot manufacture community. You can't
Yeah, you
manufacture it.
can't.
It flows naturally out of the thing that you already do and the person that you already are. That's how the strongest communities are built. And I think that's where you're headed with D17.
Well, thank you. And like I said, it takes time. Like I said, I've done events where we might have had 10 people, you know, and sometimes in my mind, I used to get so hurt. Like, I used to tell my one buddy, I was like, damn, only 10 people showed up. Like, I thought we was going to get like 40, 50. We only had 10, but like, those 10 people got up, they took time out of their day, they cared enough out of all the 10,000 things that are going on in their own lives and world to come spend it with you. And, you know, I was still getting feedback like 2-3 days later, like, oh my goodness, like, it was such a great event. Like, I met this girl, and, you know, she goes to the same gym that I go to. So now we do, you know, work out together. Or like, I needed a new pair of shoes, and like, your event helped me do that. I'm training for my first K. Or it's like, man, I've been itching to get back into photo, and like, you know, you gave me a space to do that. Like, you know, it's those things that I try to tell people. You get 10 people to show up, that's crazy. You know, if you get 10 people to buy your product, that's crazy. Like, it might grow into something bigger, but it's really profound that somebody actually did that for you. And that's why I started doing that. Like I said, when I was doing the ambassador stuff, like, I showed up everywhere. I was in Baltimore, I was in DC, I was in Charlotte, I was in Jacksonville, I was in New York. Like, I was going everywhere for people just to be like, somebody showed up. You know, I might not be the most valuable one to show up, but like, somebody came. I might, you know, just have been that person. And I always give credit to those people in those spaces that allowed me to become like two quick ones. When I went to Charlotte, I went to go meet with a running company down there to meet with the owner. We had a conversation. I met him on LinkedIn. You know, he was like, you know, I want you to meet this guy. I want you to meet this guy. And they had this whole event. I drove there by myself. I drove all the way from Maryland to Charlotte, North Carolina, with some like 2 boxes in my trunk. And I was looking to be like, hey, you want to put my stuff in your store? And then reality hit me. He was like, look, man, I think you fire. I think you're doing great stuff, but we don't really sell apparel like that. So like, I'm not gonna try to buy it off you, and then it don't sell. And then like, now, you know, all that stuff. He was like, but you can do this. So he showed me all this stuff. He was like, you know, talk to this guy, talk to this woman, talk to this person. And I started building those connections. And then when I went to Jacksonville, I had been dying to get my stuff in a store. I'm like, somebody's got to like let me showcase this. Cause when I was on Complex, I had all this rave about the product. I'm like, my problem is reach.
Mm.
If I can get more eyes on it, I can get more people interested. So I met a guy down there. His name was Hoodie. He has him and his business partner. They have a group called Collect. It's a store. It's a retail space, beautiful spot. And he was like, yo, man, I know you in Maryland, but if you can get down here, $100, I'll let you be in a store for a whole day. We have, people from the Jaguars and all these
Wow.
local creatives and stuff like that. If you can get here, man, spot's yours.
Wow.
I said, I'll see you in 24 hours. I drove 700 miles in my Corolla with 2 boxes. I set that whole display up. I had all the bottles. I had the jackets. I had the hats. I had displays, everything. I sold 2 things.
Oh my gosh.
But I met hundreds of people.
Yeah.
I met so many people. I even told them, I was like, I'm not really here to sell stuff. I just needed you to see the product. So then when I took that back home, I'm getting all these messages. Yo, I heard you was running and stuff. I'm trying to start my club down here. I heard you kind of got an idea how to start this stuff. So I didn't come down there to push product. I just came there to showcase the brand.
Yeah.
So,
and you got the contact information of a lot of these people you met. Were you able to?
Yeah, I mean, social media, email. They're like, well, I can't buy nothing right now, but I'll give you a follow or whatever. One of my buddies I met, I used his music. He was a rapper. He's like, I don't run, but I make music. I'm like, man, I used his music in a promo video.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, this fire. Like, I've been trying to get my music on a video for longest, and like, you did it. And like, the people I met down there, they're like, yo, if you want to do it again, let me know. And now that how that community down there is building itself, I now know the second time I go, the third time, I know who to be like, all right, I know you, I know you, I know this group, I know this group. How can we kind of work this together to be able to build something that's unique and unforgettable? I had to risk driving 700 miles by myself in my car. And, I only sold 2 things, but I still did it though. So now I'm like, okay, when I did my second retail event inside of a store, and we sold out. So I learned from the first time to get them the second time. I try to tell people, like, I love baseball. I got my O's hats almost opening day. I can make the Hall of Fame hitting 295. I don't gotta hit them all, but if I can get you some stuff, we remember all the Barry Bonds, the Ken Griffey's, all that. We know the home runs. But that percentage ain't that high, and they all Hall of Fame. He's the greatest guys ever. I just got to bat a decent average. That all my stuff is always sports related. And I always tell people, like, and as much as anybody else in business, you don't gotta go 72-10. I can go 5-20, but them 5 is gonna really do something.
Listen.
Set it off.
It'll cover the loss. It cover everything else.
Yeah. Then those losses look like nothing. Like I said, I've done pop-ups and sold nothing. I've done advertisements that did not perform well, but the second time I did it, I learned from it. Now I know what to do next time. You might take a little hit, but like, let's build around this and develop from it.
Yeah.
So now when that time comes, boom, when my next running thing comes out, I know the retailer to go to. We've already spoke about it. I know the partners to pull. I've already done stuff with them.
Gotcha.
I know the production places I want to go to. We've already had those conversations. Now it's time to just flip the switch.
Yeah.
And boy, I've been waiting to light that thing for about a year. So when it's up, like, I'm hoping I can really radiate from it and people can kind of see. So now when I release, it's like, I don't know what this D17 is. When they say, oh, it's Terrance with D17. I didn't see that man. He been everywhere. All he be doing is wearing that stuff and talking about that brand and going everywhere. I've seen other people in it. I've seen him hosting this and doing this and this and this and this and this and this. Now I have something to sell from it.
Yeah.
And then boom, now I hit that. I've already got the next one lined up.
Yeah.
So right when I feel like I'm stepping back, get them again.
Yeah.
And then build from it. Get them again. Build from it. Get them again. Build from it. And all I can do is just progress. And
you've been doing a lot of legwork, a lot of prep work. No, that's good. That's good. Pun intended.
I'm trying, man.
So that leads beautifully into the next couple of questions. You're talking a lot about retail. Are you DTC with retail? Like, what's the split DTC to retail? 50-50, 70-20? How are you thinking about this?
Right now, we're just fully 100% DTC.
Okay.
I would love to get a little bit into retail, at least brick and mortar.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to performance wear. I just feel like people need to be around it and see it. I've been working with a couple of stores to like kind of maybe do like a pop-up or like a trunk show or something, but it still will tie into something larger.
Yeah.
I would love to get into stores, like really just like boutique stuff. I don't know if I'm I don't know if we're in this position to be in like a Dick's or like a huge like sports retailer.
Yeah.
But anything that I can do to help the smaller retailers, I'm hoping to kind of get it. It's about like an 80-20 split.
Yeah. Yeah. 80,
That's
80
the
DTC,
goal.
20 retail.
Yeah,
Makes
because
sense.
just most of the stuff, like, it just I don't think we're at the point now to get that much out and then have to deal with, now you're getting into account management, invoices, I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah.
And the DTC helps because we do a lot of pop-ups and in-person activations that it's just way easier for us to just pull up somewhere for like 2 days with
Mhm.
our own POS and just
Yeah.
boom, 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 and get it out the way and still build on social because a lot of our events, we don't even bring product. It's really just, community activation. So
Gotcha. Okay.
that's the plan right now.
No, that's kind of what I expected. So right now, how are people hearing about you? Is it's these pop-up events, it's social, it's word of mouth, any performance marketing, any influence, like like how are people hearing about you right now?
Yeah. So we do mostly email. Email is kind of like our second biggest.
Mm.
We actually have been a part of the app Strava. We're a part of their verified business network. So
Oh.
we're able to do a lot of messaging through there, through the in-app, through like closed channels.
Oh, wow.
And then as well, like we have a Discord and stuff, but it's not as popping. But mostly a lot of email, obviously social. We haven't gotten into paid advertising yet.
Got you.
I love to get into that towards the end of the year.
Got you.
And then really just the in-person activation. So a lot of the time when we do work with a partner, sometimes they'll open us up to their email lists, depending on what the contract will look like.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're just able to gather that data. So we use that along with our event system that has like the email, SMS, stuff like that.
Got you.
It's really been a big driver for us, especially in terms of communication, like getting information out, updates, reminders.
Got
I don't want to keep blasting people's emails, but the SMS has been really good on our side for like just, oh, event tomorrow. Don't forget this, this, and this.
got you.
We have a box that you can submit pictures and stuff. And,
Got you.
obviously we get the license to do it, to post, but
Got you.
it's cool to get that UGC too.
Are you able to track what is bringing revenue? Because you said email is second largest. Is that in terms of communication or in terms of revenue channels for the brand?
Kind of both. I'd say communications and revenue traffic. Obviously, we, send emails about products coming or anything I'm doing, anything that's going on with our community.
Right.
We've been building out our blog now, working with any partners like, hey, if you guys want to do a blog post or something like that, we can get that out and sent out. And then my own personal channels too, that kind of helps my TikTok or my Twitch account. Like I'll talk about the business, but in terms of revenue, mail has been our biggest, email and SMS.
Dope.
Communication, social's always been number one, mostly organic. Like I said, we're going to get into paid later in the year. I'm a believer in paid ads. Like I think every brand does it. Like we watch the Super Bowl, all those companies pay for ads.
Yeah.
Like I knew back in the days, streetwear was like, we don't do no ads, but it's like,
It's all about how it's done though, right?
mm,
Yeah.
yeah, as long as it's not like, nothing crazy or
Yeah.
like blowout sale, I think we all see those things like in the back of our head, like you're just trying to get rid of stuff, but
Yeah.
we just need more eyes.
Yeah.
If we be able to work with the platforms and the communities, like yes,
Yeah.
organic can do this, but man, if we really had an ad running behind it as well,
Mhm.
that helps too. So
And what really helps fire ads even like that, make them much more effective is having a very sticky landing.
yeah.
So you mentioned you have email, like how built out is that back end? Because I see a lot of brands like who run paid media, but like
Mm,
they barely have any email and SMS. And I'm like, bro, like you're literally burning a lot of cash because like not everybody's going to convert on the beginning, but with email and SMS, if
mm.
it's well built out on the back end, you can convert time and again on those people who don't even convert the first time. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a
Yes.
good thing, especially like I love Shopify. They've been a real big help. Like anything with like abandoned checkouts,
Mm,
obviously new subscriber
yeah.
offers and listings. Also, their suite of tools is really nice. Like I love the Shop app. I know some people have ups and downs with
Yeah.
it, but I love it because it helps with just consumer transparency when it comes to shipping products. Like you can live track your order, everything from when it gets fulfilled to when it hits the truck. Like we have a landing page on our website as well that helps you put your order number and stuff. It just migrates that data.
Yeah.
if they're just on their desktop or something and they just want to see the little dot, go boop, boop, boop. Like, some people just want that. They just want to be able to be like, okay, I want to track my product. I say, okay, just put your order number, go here, and the email will do that. We have a couple automated workflows that have helped, like anybody that's purchased this amount, or if they're interested in specifically the run stuff. We had the landing pages built out that I really wanted to work on that for any SEO, just discoverability. I get a lot of stuff from just building those pages. Like at one point I built a page about pickleball. I was getting replies on that thing for like 2 years straight.
That's crazy.
Just people just going to the landing page. I never even put the product out. I just talked about it.
Right.
Like I'm a brand that wants to get into pickleball, and they were like, oh, all these people. And I was like, well, just, sign up for this email. Like when we get there, you'll be the first to hear about it. So it's been like 2 years since I've done it. Like it hasn't been off the burner, but now we have the data for when that time comes, and we try to get away from any like overly spamming or whatever. Just we try to say everything is essential, essential information. And I think a lot of people take preference into that. Like, obviously they know Black Friday and all that stuff in the summer, but like anything essential, they're like, okay, I don't have to go and search for information. We just keep it all central for them. And that helps me too, because I be forgetting a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the point. And I think like since you have your whole year planned out, it sounds like you're about to head into like a new season of launching and like pushing the big red button, as it were. And so it's probably going to be a good time for you to like go back and look at everything that's set up to make sure it's dialed in. Now, again, I mentioned I like to get really, really real. And I want to be respectful of your time.
Yeah, no, take your time.
I appreciate it. I ask all my guests this, and someone answered, some don't want to answer it, but I'm going to ask it nonetheless.
Yeah.
Are you profitable right now? I know you've been running since 2019, like after production, after shipping, after events, everything the brand does. Are you profitable?
I will say we are profitable, but that don't mean that I'm going to buy a new car.
No, that's fine.
Don't mean that it's crazy.
No,
but it does help when I look in the account and I'm like, okay, we got enough to do something again.
Yeah.
We got enough to get people paid.
Dope.
And we got enough to keep the lights on. So I'm hoping this year we can really turn that around. And the same thing that I mentioned before, like we were in that weird stuck phase. It really forced us to lean out a lot of crap. Like this ad's got to go. We got to switch providers. We don't need all this extra stuff. We don't need this. We got to figure out how can we design better? How can we manufacture better? How can we really cut that a lot down? My first 2 years, I was like, oh, it's up. I was like, I was like, this is great. And then when it started to kind of go down, I was like, I don't know what's going on. But, I'm not at the point where I can like bring people on full time. A lot of people that come are like part time or contracted or interns, like if we're working with a school.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping this year we can really make some numbers. It's just on the back end too, because like I said, I want to get back into our other sponsorships that we were in.
Yeah.
And as well, some new ones. Like I've just been kind of like in the back, like just send me all the stuff for 2027.
Yeah.
And I will make sure it's put into the budget.
Yeah.
Thankfully I do have help with the budgeting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like we had to get a lawyer and everything for trademarks and all that stuff. So I wanted all that to be protected out the way. So luckily we have all that has been squared away.
That's amazing.
Now we're just working on, now it's really just product and just renewing stuff like, websites, URLs, domains. So
all of the technical stuff, infrastructure stuff. So 2 questions. Number 1, where do a lot of your margins get eaten up? Is it in inventory? Is it in events? Is it in community building? And when people purchase, like, do they typically come back? Like, are you seeing repeat purchases?
Yeah. So I'd say most where we get eaten up, and every apparel company runs into it, is really just trying to forecast. Because like there was one point like these hoodies, I didn't have these for, hold on, I gotta check it real quick. Okay, that's the new one. Because the old one didn't have a tag. This one's got a tag in it. So I was like, I had to check to like this V1 or V2.
Yeah.
So trying to forecast, that was really my biggest problem early on. Like we found a good balance between this is what we need in line, this is what we're able to pre-order, and this is what we're like our singlets, we did all pre-order. They're all made to order. which was really good. But then we've also developed, and thank you again to Shopify, building out like our category levels. Like these are C level products, these are B level products, these are A level products. We haven't gotten into the A level yet. We're very like accessory and B and C level. We quantify anything less than $50. B is like 50 to like 200, and then A is 200 plus.
Yeah.
But we've been really good at it. But then I'm like, well, I can order 1,000 of these. Like, I don't really need 1,000, but like, the numbers look good. I can just sit on them. So like, that's my problem is I order way too much, but then it takes me long to like recoup it in the back end.
Yeah.
But then we do see a lot of repeat customers, which is really good. I think we get more repeat than new sometimes, which is just because it's just, people just been with it for so long. Like, oh, I need new stuff for my running season. I need new stuff for when it starts getting cold. Oh, I need new stuff for this. So we see a lot of repeat, which is really great. And also the new ones that come in, we're slowly getting more customers outside of just like the Eastern Seaboard. Like we're slowly getting stuff down south, like in Texas or California. We get some people up north, like Seattle, like Washington State, Oregon, all that. So I'm glad that it's starting to space out a little bit
Outside
more.
of your immediate
Because for a good time, we really were just like between New York and DC.
Oh.
So I was like, it was just like everything was just going in this small corridor. So I'm like, I want to get outside the corridor, but also making sure that those people are still getting the same
level of quality,
service and hospitality that the people here get. Because if you're in LA, you can't come to a product thing unless you like plan it out and all that stuff. But I love to be able to expand out with that. But as those numbers come, I think that those plans will still fall together. So it's just gonna take some time.
For sure, that makes sense. A couple more questions. Let's zoom out a little bit.
Yeah.
Since 2019, this is 7 years. Well, I've been running around for 7 years. Shout out to you. That's no small feat. That's no small feat. You know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, I'll be 10 years next year, 7 more in the running. But technically, I started it when I graduated from college, but it wasn't like together. But like from the origin story, it was like 10. So
that's big.
It's up and down.
Yeah, no, it always is. But I feel is based on everything you're telling me right now, it feels as though you guys are kind of like shifting into a new season of reinvigorated direction, better systems, better strategy. Seems like you're really ready to take this into the next epoch, if you will, where, as you said, we go from just being this, I want to be careful, not passion project. It's never been a side hobby. Like it's been a thing, but like, let's actually like have this thing grow in a significant way outside of just me. So up until this point, what decision have you made that maybe cost you the most? What mistake have you made? Whether it was money, time, momentum?
Think really, honestly, it was these hoodies. So back in 2020, I was on Complex magazine. I was on a show, or not like a show, but like I was on a social media series for like upcoming brands. And one, I did not know I was going to be on the thing. Like I filled out the information, whatever. And then when things started to get real, I got the email from like, Complex Networks and blah, blah, blah. And this like, a lawyer reached out and they're like, you need to sign this agreement and,
crazy.
All these, all that stuff. Right. So we had product, but it wasn't like a lot. It was enough to have, like the store was, alive and stuff. But these hoodies like went stupid and like everybody was trying to get one. And then basically if you won the contest, right, you got the opportunity to make like a one-of-a-kind product to sell through Complex. Like they would just put in a purchase order and you would make a one-of-a-kind product. So in my mind, I was like, I'm going to make it now because I'm going to win, right? So I came in second place. I was sick. And the thing about it is there was like a rating score, right? There was like a rating and I had the most points out of like, I had a 17 out of 20 points. I was like, man, I should win. And I won the fan vote. Like I won the fan vote and everything. But like when it came to the final, I didn't win. I came in second place. How does that work? I don't know. And it was another guy from Baltimore. I was like, no way. It was a guy down the road. I was like, there's no way. So I came in second. I ordered like 200 hoodies. I'm like, I'm gonna just put the order in now, so when Complex reaches out, I
Boom,
can
boom.
just get it to them. Like,
Yeah.
we can drop it the same day I win, like on some like championship mode. And I came in second, and I was like, oh my God. I tried to
goodness.
call my printer. I was like, yo, did you get the garments sewn yet? He's like, oh yeah, we're finishing up production. You're gonna get them by like the end of the week. I was like, we can't like halt I was like, there's no way to halt the order, nothing. It was done. It was in process to be fulfilled. So I ate that straight to the face. And then I had to figure out a campaign to like sell them. And then I was like, well, I don't have the story because I freaking lost. And I ended up seeding a bunch of them out. Like, I was like, I'm just going to send a bunch of them out because I met some people and stuff. And then I was out of hoodies, right? I sold enough and I just gave the rest out. So I'm like, oh, all gone, whatever. So then one of my friends, her name is Yami, she posted on TikTok this random video. This is where TikTok really blew up. She posted a video on TikTok. This video gets 2 million views with my hoodie on. And all these people are like, yo, where'd you get this hoodie? I don't got none of them. They're all gone. So then I called my friend. I'm like, yo, I need 300 more. And then I'm like, all right, everyone's going to get this hoodie. And I only sold like 5. I was like, I missed all of them. I had all these hoodies.
So you weren't taking orders while people were asking for it? You waited and then open it up, or you just open it up?
I waited because like her video was popping so quickly, and I was like, I gotta get in front. I needed more, in general, but I was like, I gotta get in front of it. I don't want to wait too long because I need people like, as this video is catching traction, I need people to just like go to the site and buy it, not like wait, because I don't want to. I don't want to wait a week after. I bought some more, and then I got them, and then I only like. It started to die down. I was like, damn it, I only sold like 5. Luckily, we got through them all, but
that's
like trying to
up and down emotionally.
Yeah, I was hurt because I had all this other stuff planned out, and I was like, I had it all planned out, and I was like, crap. So now I had all these hoodies, and luckily, like I said, we did some pop-ups and we did some other activations. I seeded the other ones out, but like I kept going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And that's when like the profitability was kind of like, well, we're making money, burnt. We're making it back, burnt. Oh, we're making it back, burnt. And I was like, I was really bad with managing the brand. So I was like, maybe this needs to come out of my hands. So I was like, we need to move this, because that's why when you said like sometimes a founder needs to take a step back, because like this is like your brainchild and you're like, I know how this works, but really like if I had like a BDR at the time, they'd be like, well, maybe let's dial it back here. Let's build off of this. But like, I didn't know when I was seeding stuff, I was just sending it to like my friends or people I met online and stuff. Like I made a lot of great connections from seeding stuff just because I thought people were cool, but like I thought she was cool. She was playing video games and stuff, and I was like, wow, you're really cool. Let me just send you some stuff because I think you're fire. Then she just happened to wear it and post a video, and the shit got crazy traction. Like I didn't know. It caught me off guard. So
it works like that.
It was definitely like a learning experience. She's still great. Like, she's doing amazing things right now, but it definitely caught me off guard because I was getting people messaging me like, ain't this your hoodie? Or like, ain't this yours? Or whatever. Like, I was like, oh my gosh.
But
like
it's
so many
crazy
people
that
like
got that much attention and you only moved 5. My brain is trying to compute how that.
I don't know. Like I said, it was.
Did you have email and SMS
crazy.
set up at the time?
No. I just had my son. We were still very early on. Like that joint went up. Like I still have the video too. Like it was crazy. Like that video, it got 3.5 million likes. It got 190,000 comments, 61,000 saves, and 20,000 shares. And she's wearing the hoodie. Like it was a blue version. It was the same one.
You should have.
And I was just like in such a rut, but you
should have
we made
moved
it work.
a couple 100,000 of that even.
Yeah,
But
see,
it's all
I
good. We
didn't
learned.
know.
We learned. We learned.
Well,
It's good. It's
yeah, because like
2026.
yeah, because like I said, I didn't know. I just gave it to her, and like she was
Yeah.
still really early in her career, so it wasn't like an official thing. She just was walking around with the hoodie
Got
on.
you.
So, and it wasn't like a campaign or nothing. It really was just like we were friends, and she just happened to wear it. But then people were asking, and then it was like maybe I should like do this, but like I didn't want to feel like I was taking advantage of her
For
momentum or
sure.
anything. 'Cause like, and then it just was like people were just discovering it. They just were seeing it. It was getting reposted everywhere. And people were like, ain't this your hoodie? Ain't this you? And I was like, yeah. They're like, you know that girl? I was like, yeah, we're friends.
That's wild.
You know, it just was, it's where like business and,
Like,
you know, commerce and stuff and relationships. Cause like I even told her, I was like, look, I don't want to like jump on your train and anything and like take advantage of what you're building because they have my product. Like we just laughed it over and just, you know, kept it
no, it's
moving.
big.
So
That's it.
she's still the homie. She's doing big stuff too. She's on the Beast Games. So
She's on Beast Games?
she was on season 1.
Oh my gosh.
So she was
I
on
watched
there.
some episodes. I'm gonna go back and
Yeah, shout out to Yami.
try to spot her.
She was number 641.
41. Okay, I'm gonna go
So
watch the
yeah,
episode again, see if I can spot her.
shout out to her.
Two more questions before we head up out of here. Thank you so much for being
All
so
right.
generous with your time, man.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Who exactly are you doing this for? Yourself, the community, something you're trying to prove? Why D17?
You know, it's as a cliche as it sounds, I'm really just doing it for when I turn 60, 70, and you know, I'm this cool clothing guy and people look up and they say, man, this guy used to play ball at this basketball court with his homies and he went to this school and he went here and he went here. Cause I want my community to see like, again, there's a way to get to that ascension point without feeling like you have to take all these avenues or whatever. Cause like in my own growing up, like that really is what drove me every time. My community, my friends, my family, athletes, student athletes, professional, whatever range, just health and wellness in general. Because I feel like growing up, I used to always see things. Now, keep it quick because I'll ramble for 10 hours. I've always had this one friend. She's really good at music, but the teachers may have been like, oh, what are you just going to be? One of those SoundCloud rappers or whatever? Blah, blah, blah. You know, it would get shot down.
Yeah.
Or we had this one friend, you know, he's really good at drawing. Oh, what are you just going to draw comic books or whatever? And like dreams get shut down so quickly. And, you know, being able, let's say you played sports and, you know, oh, I'm going to Randolph-Macon University. It's like, it ain't University of Maryland. It ain't Duke. It ain't Syracuse. Like, you know, it gets shot down and being able to have that. So I've always wanted the brand not to be like this aura of hope, but just like being able to tell the stories and perspectives of the people that have been around it, where that is like the running communities or like when I was golfing or playing sports, or like when I was sponsoring soccer teams, like these teams really needed assistance and being able to just to sustain the organizations. I was like, well, if you guys aren't getting sponsors, well, I'll be the first one. Or, you know, if we're doing our running stuff and these stories and campaigns, like I want to be able to tell these things that I'm seeing that I experienced when I was an athlete, the stuff I experienced being around other athletes, what I've experienced in terms of just designs that I've always loved. I'm like, man, we got to start doing this. We got to start doing this. We got to start playing, you know, with these colorways and these styles and this and this and this. Just, I don't feel like there was ever a gap, but I feel like there was a perspective that needed to be told. And I always wanted to use the brand to tell that perspective and still being able to be stuff that is, you know, performance, but also it still works. As much as like the word community goes, you know, goes around and being told, like, I always try to make sure that when people see, when people say, oh, it's D17, I'm like, yeah, I'm the guy with the brand, it's a letter and a number.
It has a nice ring to it, dude.
I love it.
Legit, bro. No, for real. Like,
I like it.
I think
but
like, yeah.
But I just want people just to see it and be like, man, like people that wear that, they dedicated to their craft, to whatever it is. You know, they're able to do things that you didn't think was possible. If you asked me when I first started thinking, you think I would be doing stuff with New Balance on the regular? Like, I thought that was a pipe dream. I was like, there's no way of doing that. And then, like I said, when I work with students or I work with people, creatives in my area, and I'm like, man, it ain't that hard, gang. Like, I can show you how to do it. Like, it's a way to do it.
Yeah.
And then being able to build off of that, I just want people to be like, man, like the stuff is good. It represents something great. It represents not just the community I'm from, but like other communities, hopefully in the US and around the world.
Uh-huh.
And then being able just to continue to put out creative expressions of whatever medium. Like I just got back into painting. Like, I painted when I was in college, and I'm like, what can I do to, maybe we could have a D17 exhibition or something like of telling sports and artists and stuff like that. We're doing the trail stuff, being able to get people of color outside and doing that. We're working with a couple partners to create inclusive spaces for our women athletes. Like,
Uh-huh.
what does that look like? Who are we working with, women owned or women identifying companies that work in health and wellness. And they've been looking for that one partner. I'm like, well, I can be that connected person for you.
Uh,
Not saying it has to be all revenue, but I can make that connector. Oh, you be teaching yoga and whatever. Okay, well, this partner, they want to do something with it. Okay, well, I can come in, I can help with the product, XYZ, talk
uh,
about it, but let's make this about you,
yeah.
and tell your story and what you're doing, because I feel like there's just so much that's not been covered,
Yeah.
and we're just like recycle, repeat, which is also great, but I just wanted to be able to fulfill that kind of sense of purpose and direction,
Yeah.
because like I
Yeah.
said, it's called D17. It's literally a letter and a number,
Yeah.
but like I got no bounds. Like I
Yeah.
tell my homie Austin, I've got no bounds, man. I might wake up tomorrow and I might make lemon spray,
That's funny.
spray this before your races or something. The smell of like, lavender and mahogany or something crazy. Like
Lavender and
that's just
mahogany would
how,
go hard, bro. That's actually a
like I
scent
said, I don't know,
combination.
man. Like people thought I had a conversation about this on Saturday. People thought I was crazy when I was like, man, I'm about to start running. People were like, man, what the fuck? Why do you want to do that? And obviously running culture had already been around and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I felt like there was so many opportunities and things that were not being done that I wanted to be the first. My first running collection was a collaboration with another group. I never even had anything to do with.
Hmm.
I just had gear. My friend Tunde, he's a captain with the Atlanta Run Club, and he had his own group up in Washington called Chasing Roses. They were trying to find a sponsor. I was like, man, I will send y'all 2 pounds of shit. And I did. I sent him like all this stuff, and he still be wearing the hoodie to this day. That hoodie's
Crazy.
like 8 years old.
That's
Like,
wild.
and people still wear like, man, that hoodie's fire. Like that hoodie's fire. I'm like, man, we did this years ago. When I was like, let me just take a chance on you, because I want somebody to take a chance on me.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that when people see it and they understand it and they wear the brand, they're like, man, I'm a go-getter. I like to win. I know win is not all about it, but in your performance, you got to win something.
You gotta win that
Like,
little bit.
I like to win. We like to win. I always say when I meet people, like, I want you to feel like you're part of the greatest team to ever exist. Like I said, I'm at the point sometimes I don't even got to run and people think I'm fast. I'm not going to the Olympics. I'm not winning no marathons. I'll be walking around. People like, what you running today? 6:30, 7 minutes? I'm like, I ain't even running today, man. I'm walking with my friend. People like, it's just be kind of cool. And then people be seeing it on. They're like, you know that guy? Or like, you fuck with that brand? They be like, yeah, I'll be with them.
Yeah.
So
No.
I just love that. And I hope more people can be able to experience it. And I'm hoping the more activations that we do, they just keep getting better and better. And then we'll just go from there. The product will evolve. I'll evolve. One day I might just say, I'm about to start making my stuff looking like Ralph, just because, but it probably won't. But,
I know what
you never
mean.
know.
Yeah. No,
Or
dude,
like, I might just stuff like that. But
no, I appreciate I appreciate your perspective. You've got a J. Cole energy to you. You wanna inspire and you wanna set a good example, but you shy away from the role model moniker, from the preacher.
yeah, I tell people I am no God.
No, I know.
Not like I hate when people are like, man, I'm like, no, I am just a regular dude
Yeah.
that took a lot of chances in his basement.
Yeah.
Like nothing crazy, but like I just be taking chances. Like the amount of emails I be sending or LinkedIn or whatever, like I don't ever want to feel like I'm bigger than anything. Like even when we do the run clubs, like our events, like a lot of times at run clubs, like I understand like communication and stuff. Like use a megaphone, right? They'd be like, "Hey, everybody." I don't like using the megaphone, man.
Mm,
I don't want to feel like I'm talking down at people. To me, it feels like
yeah,
I'm talking at, I'm like, all right, let's all get in a circle and like, I'm gonna talk to you guys one on one
yeah,
because we on
yeah,
the same. I don't like being on the megaphone. Like they hand it to me, I'm like, I don't need this. I don't want to feel like I don't want to feel like it's a barrier
yeah,
between us. Like
yeah, yeah,
let's have a conversation. When we do this run, tell me about what's going on. What are you training for?
yeah.
Are you training for anything? Is this just for you? How can I help you get to that next level? You need shoes? We can kind of put this together. You want to do this? We can kind of put this together. You want this product? We can think about how to get this done. Like I just feel like I'm no bigger than anybody else just because I make clothes and cool. I work with New Balance. Cool. I work with Smartwater. That's awesome. But like at the end of the day, this shit can get ripped from me at any time.
Mm, mm.
And like I said,
Powerful
I
perspective.
think about that because in my own personal life, shit got ripped from me in real time. So I'm like, I don't ever want to stray away or feel like
Yeah,
I'm better than anybody or, I want to be the coolest brand, but like, I don't want to feel unobtainable.
yeah,
It's just how I've always had it.
that's
And,
dope.
that's just me.
No, I feel that. I appreciate that, man. Okay, got you. So let's imagine in a perfect world, if you just suddenly had like extra 30K this month in profit, like
Mm.
magically, what would you put that towards? Would that be community? Would that be team? Would that be product? Would that be marketing?
Um, I would, I would definitely get some product. We all need product. But I would like I said, I really would focus on a lot of our sponsorships that we were a part of.
Hmm.
And a lot of them, they weren't even that much, but it's just some things like, for example, there's a couple races out here that I'd love to just be a partner of, or I met with a group I hear called Sold Out Dates. I'm like, maybe one day I'd like to be a little title sponsor, but
Hmm.
I'd love to be able to do that. Just anything that I can put back into the community, honestly, is really what's the best for me because the product will just always be there.
Yeah.
And then obviously the marketing, I just want to make sure anybody that's not able to be in person still has a great experience, whether that's digitally or
Yeah.
pop up or stuff. Like, one of the biggest things that we did was just getting an iPad and using Shopify POS. Like, people are like, "What? You don't have?" I'm like, "Nope, I got my whole stuff right here. I can present you the receipt. I can email it to you,
Yeah.
whatever." Like, even that's just like a small thing or being able to have that. So, and then we have to save some. Like, I have to save. We gotta save a
Of
little bit of that
course. Of course.
30K. So,
No, absolutely.
as much as I love to burn it, the budget is on me, so I have
Yeah.
to.
You gotta keep a reserve in there, man.
Yeah, and pay my taxes.
Yeah.
The current bane in my back, but
All of us. All of us. Yo,
gotta
Terrence.
wait. That's coming up.
Terrence. Listen, I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, man. I love your community first approach. I love the humility of your heart, and I love just how thoughtful you are with where D17 is going to go next. So thank you so much for having this conversation with me. I know there's going to be a ton of gems in here. I'm going to have to go pick it all out right now. But I appreciate you, man. I know the audience will enjoy it. And I know somebody was definitely inspired. I know I definitely was. And we'll definitely keep building after this. Appreciate you so much,
Yeah.
man.
Like I said, thank you for having me. I know we turned it around pretty quick. Like I said, I'm glad you're able to build this platform for people to learn and understand. Like I said, I'm no six-figure guy yet, but hopefully when I get there, eventually people can look back and be like, man, I remember when he was building blocks and
Yeah.
now he's building towers now. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I got my own tower now.
You know what I'm saying? And where can people find you?
Just honestly on social media, just D17 Terrance, just a letter D, the number 17, Terance. I'm on Instagram, on LinkedIn, Substack, TikTok, Twitch. It's all the same. The Lord.
Amazing. Terrance Diggs of D17. This has been The Margin Room. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Thank you.